Shit,
So
damn it. Can I capture one of these, please?
I'm fishing. I'm fishing with lead head with plastic on it. That's what I'm using.
Lead head? What's that?
Lead head. Well, it's just a lead head with a hook in it.
Oh, the certain kind of bait,
that
yeah.
you put in here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
This is the kind of bait I'm using.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The lead head, yeah, it has a
Okay,
little.
So out by the Bahia, there's a hole right out in between Mission Bay Yacht Club and the Bahia Point. There's a 20 to 28 foot hole, and big fish will hold up in there.
Still now?
Always. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm hitting that.
I'm always there at the Bahia. I'm gonna be
with a
checking for
lure.
that.
So I'm reeling. So oh man, I'm hooked up. Oh, it's a ray, and it's pulling me around, and finally I get it hooked up, and it's hooked in the mouth, but I don't have it hooked in the mouth. I have caught, it had a weight that was hanging from it, and my lure hook went through the eye of the weight.
It's right through the eye.
Right through the eye of the weight.
Oh.
That's what I hooked up. That's how I hooked and reeled that fish in. And then I took
Glad we're
all
not fish.
all the line and weight off him. I couldn't. He kept trying to sting me, so I didn't want to mess with him anymore. So I just took my knife and put it as close as I can to his mouth and cut the line. So he still got a hook, but that's
what are the odds
it
of
was
that?
like a 3-ounce hook in his mouth. And that's the second time I caught a fish without hooking the fish. My friend J.A. and I used to fish Lake Poway. And we'd troll rapalas. And we'd use 2-pound tests. So if you had a big fish, quite often
For
you
2
get broke
pounds,
off.
yeah.
Well, I got broke off early in the morning. About 2 hours later, I hook up. I reel the fish in, and my lure is in the eye of the other lure where you tie the line on. It's in that eye. My hook is in that eye. And it's a lure I lost either, and the fish was still on. That's twice that I've hooked stuff that way. I'm really lucky.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, my brother goes, how are you catching these fish? And I go, well, I'm kind of throwing the lure out, closing the bail, and putting it in my fish holder. And when my pole tries to jump out of the boat, I pick it up and reel the fish in.
Hell yeah.
And he goes, you're not even setting the hook? And I go, no, they do it. and I mean, it's just, we'll go down and I'll take my kayak on a good day. We'll catch 25 fish. On a regular day, 10.
What's the biggest fish you're catching out there?
Well, rays are the biggest fish I'm catching.
Stingray?
Yeah.
So they're about 2 feet or whatever.
But the fish I'm targeting are bass.
Little bass.
And I've caught one.
So as long as they're over what, 18 inches or 12?
Well, I don't keep anything out of San Diego Bay or Mission.
Period? So that's just gaming.
No, it's deadly.
No, I'm saying, yeah, you don't eat it. Yeah, just fish
just for fun. Yeah, they're deadly.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Fish out.
No, I'm glad because I'm barely about to start fishing, so I'm glad to know that. I'll just do it for fun.
Well, you know,
I'll continue. Listen, guys, I will continue to buy our fish from Vaughn, Super, or Murphy's, wherever.
You missed the window just by a couple of months. I gave away 2 float tubes, waders, and fins.
Fuck. I'm always fucking just a second late.
My sister,
it's all good. I'm not trying to do it, but that's dope.
Well,
because I'm sure she's gonna put them to use.
Bar none. Fishing in a float tube. If you can stay, you know, if you're good at kicking, you can stay on your spot. I don't know. When I got hurt, float tubing was what the doctor recommended because I told him it gave me peace of mind, and I was kind of buoyant, so I was comfortable. And so he wrote me a prescription for float tubing.
Nice. Damn, lucky dog. I need one of those prescriptions.
And so I fished Mission Bay probably 200 straight days. When I didn't go to Poway and troll, I was in Mission Bay.
I'm always out there paddle boarding or snorkeling or just swimming or whatever.
But the best time?
No, wait.
Tide?
High
tide.
Oh yeah, high tide.
Yeah, hour before, hour after high tide that's generally a peak fishing bite. But you know, you just take the wind
Go
in
by
the
that.
direction of the tide.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is you want to bring your bait downwind and down tide. And if you can get those two together, you'll catch more fish.
Yeah, because I guess because it's automatically bringing them
Well,
the current
okay,
you, so,
so
you guys are gonna meet up in a direction.
so
Yeah.
no, any predator. Okay, so the two things that move bait are wind and tide.
Right.
So predators are watching the tide and
Mhm.
the wind. So they're looking for your bait then. So the fish that are seeing your bait are the ones that are going to eat it. But if you're casting across to where you're coming across in front of them, they're probably not going to be so aggressive on it.
Right.
Same fish.
Right. Also, because they got to go against it. That makes
Same
sense.
fish. It's like well, when we used to take before I fucked that boat up, when you used to take that out, we'd be fishing and my brother would notice, you just got 3 in a row, and then he'd watch where I was casting, and then he'd pick the same angle.
Heck yeah. Exactly.
And whoever, we usually take a third person. How the fuck are you guys catching it? Wayne goes, you got watch and learn. Do what we do. And the guy casted a couple of times out of the other side of the boat, and Wayne goes, did either one of us cast that way? He goes, no. And he goes, then why are you casting that way? Oh. And he started casting that way. He was catching fish.
Caught on. He caught on.
Which-
What time was this? Didn't matter the time? I'm just thinking because he asked, right? And you said high
Yeah.
tide. But I'm
Okay,
thinking like
okay.
I just remember when I was little
When the
going
tide's
fishing
moving,
late at night.
okay, no, when the
No.
tide's moving is the best time. And no moon and full moon are the best tide.
Bring them up.
Isn't that crazy?
No,
Yeah.
because you go from 6 foot to negative tide
Yeah.
to 5 foot to 1 foot tide.
Yeah.
So the tide's moving pretty good. And when I used to float tube, I used to start at the Bahia on an outgoing tide, like an hour before the upswing, and I'd float out all the way to the channel, and then I'd float back. And I didn't do well at night.
Oh.
I caught more
Oh
fish.
shit. That's different.
I catch more fish in the morning than any time, but that's generally because
Early morning or what time? Like
Wayne and
I'm just saying it for the people
Wayne-
watching because
Wayne
everyone
and I-
has a different,
Wayne
their
and I
strategy.
usually meet where we launch around. We're in the water by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But we're shooting to be there for the high tide
Yeah.
or for the low tide.
So
when the
not really timing, not time what it is, but the tide.
when
more
the tide
important.
when the tide changes.
Yeah.
And we tend to fish less on the weeks that are in between there's like a 5-day period in between the full moon and the new moon, between when
Crazy
they
the
change.
gravitational
The
pull. That's
14
a lot
days,
to
the
do with
14 days,
it. Yeah.
every 14 days it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, the 14 days, there's only 3 or 4 days in there that the tides stay pretty level.
That's what you want. That's the window.
No, that's really slow fishing.
Oh, that's what you don't want.
You don't want.
Okay, there you go.
You want the high. It just depends
So
on how.
those 3 days are in between that.
Kinda like the transition?
Like there's gonna every 28 days
Yeah.
get a full moon. Every 28
Right,
days.
right.
And 14 and right in between those 28 days you get a new moon or no moon. So in between those 14 days, there's 3 or 4 days in there where the tides are so slack that they hardly move. Those aren't really good days for fishing. If you're a really aggressive fisherman,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about
So you guys,
where
there
you're
you go.
within the tidal area. I'm not talking about when you're out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah, that's
because those
different.
Fish
That'll be
eat
another
where-
episode,
eat where
y'all.
they find bait 7/24.
Right.
So you got to find bait. It's just like
So there y'all have it.
fishing is like faith. You got to have faith in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
That's true.
And it's just like
That's true.
I pray before I fish. We go out and I'll give you an example. My brother goes, I was praying for the Lord to direct us to go to find the bluefin tuna. Right? And so my brother goes, so where should we go? And guess what? longitude and latitude numbers came into my head, and I told my brother them. We went to that longitude and latitude, and guess what we ran into? Feeding whales, bluefin tuna.
Damn.
And guess what? I didn't give the Lord credit for it. I took the credit for that.
Ooh, that's the first
Everybody
mistake.
on the boat got 3 fish. I only got 1 bite and didn't set the hook on him. Give the Lord his due.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And check this out. This man right here has so much knowledge, so much game that
No, I just
it's
hold.
a pity and a shame that I only got this little bit of memory on my phone on this card to give you guys. But I promise you, I'm gonna load this. I'm gonna delete, keep going, and stay tuned. If you guys want more, drop those comments. Let this man know that you feel him, what he's talking about. I swear,
So,
just hanging out with him for a
Is he-
minute, you'll
does
be
he have a
blown
YouTube
away.
Site? Is that what it,
So check
is
this
he
out,
making
y'all.
any money with it?
Yeah, we're out, and stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, all that. We will continue to keep going.